welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome to the channel ahead of the decisive Clasico. We right here are at the Copa del Rey semi-final stage. It is the second leg, everything is on the line, and of course Barça arrive into this game not only with the advantage from the first leg, but also with the confidence after recent Clasico meetings. We have a chance here to make it 4 wins in a row over Real Madrid. But we do have injury concerns. Xavi is going to need to come up with a plan once again. Can we get the job done? Can we make it to the final? The full match preview is coming up for you guys. So get ready. And let's do it, because today's Clasico preview is coming to you courtesy of So Rare, because in the spirit of the Clasico, it is time to get that competitive edge going, because I'm sure that many of you guys, just like myself, have spent many minutes, many hours, many days of your life playing fantasy football. It's all good fun, isn't it? Researching players, teams, fixtures, scores, trying to pick the best players for your team. And that's the thing about So Rare, because it takes fantasy football to the next level. It's not just about goals, it's not just about assists or wins or clean sheets, because on So Rare, they take everything into account. Every aspect of a game, every moment, every action, every contribution will count towards your player's score. They measure over 48 different stats, which is why picking your team, researching the best players to buy on So Rare, it's so exciting, and the games are incredibly engaging, because when you buy your cards, they are yours to keep. They are individually and uniquely numbered, and they're yours to use every single weekend with the aim of climbing the leaderboards. And if you follow, guys, the link right here in the description down below today, you can get your So Rare journey started, and you can claim 1 free limited card after you've purchased your first 5 cards from the market. And once you guys have selected your teams, please do let me know in the comments down below who's made it into your lineup. Good luck! Because in terms of El Clasico, Barça, as we know, are currently leading 1-0 on aggregate, heading into the second leg at the Spotify Camp Nou. But what is really important to stress ahead of this game is that there is no away goals rule in the Copa del Rey, meaning here that if the two teams are level at the end of 90 minutes by any scoreline, we will be heading to extra time and penalties if required. And just imagine, guys, if we were to go deep into extra time, even penalties in a Clasico semi-final, the tension would be off the scale. And it's a kind of similar feeling to the league game here recently at the Camp Nou, because Real Madrid are the ones here who are behind. They're chasing the game. We are the ones holding the advantage. That may force Real Madrid to come out a bit more, to go a bit more attacking, but it's up to Barça here to keep control of the occasion and manage this game. And at the weekend, we did see both of these teams in action in La Liga, and it was scintillating stuff from the two of them. Barça there with a 4-0 away win over Elche, and Real Madrid hitting 6 past Valladolid at home. And it was one of the rare times this season where both teams have actually won incredibly convincingly at the same time. Obviously, not the strongest of oppositions there for either of them, but those wins still provide real confidence. But something, though, that certainly will not help with confidence on the side of Barça is when you're talking about injuries right now. We still have no Pedri and no Dembele. Now, those two being out, they're long-term absentees now. We haven't had either of those two players for the last 2 Clásicos against Real Madrid. Andreas Christensen is also a huge miss at centre-back. He, of course, missed the first leg in this Copa semi-final, but Frenkie de Jong, he, for me, is the big loss indeed. We've been able to count on him for the previous Clásicos. He's been a mainstay in our midfield, but he will not be there in Xavi's team for this one. But for sure, one thing that hasn't changed since the Clasico there at the Camp Nou just over 2 weeks ago is the mood, is the feeling here, the tension between these two clubs, because once again, Florentino Perez, the Real Madrid president, will not be present inside the stadium for this one, and there was no customary there pre-match meal between the presidents. As like I say, tensions are running high between these two clubs. It's fierce, it's a battle, and that That is why neither one will want to come out on the losing side. And when you are thinking there about these starting lineups and what these two coaches will do, first of all, interesting I thought hearing from Carlo Ancelotti in the build-up to this one, when he was basically asked in his press conference, are you going to change tomorrow? Are we going to see something different? Is there going to be a different formation in tomorrow's game? Ancelotti, though, he said no. Now, that may be, though, a little bit of a cryptic answer, because actually Real Madrid did change shape on the weekend. On Sunday there against Valladolid, they lined up in a sort of 4-2-3-1 system instead of 4-3-3. Now, did Ancelotti mean they won't change from the weekend? Or did he mean they won't change at all? Because he then went on to say it's difficult to change the system after working on the same system all year. He said small details are where you can surprise your rival, but in general, a system change will only surprise you, which does imply there that Ancelotti is thinking about doing the same thing. Once again here, Clasico upon Clasico upon Clasico. We said it yesterday, he has done the same. He's lined up in the same way. We all know what's coming, and to be fair, until now, it hasn't worked for Real this season. Now, the one boost, though, that he does have, and the one change that we will see in Real Madrid's defence is David Alaba is likely to return in that backline. Rudiger is fit to play at centre-back. Alaba, therefore, could slot in at left-back. And then that means that technically, Ancelotti, if he wanted to, could play Nacho at right-back. Given Carvajal's disappointing form right now, will Nacho come in? Although many people believe Carvajal is likely to stay in the team. Now, if Ancelotti goes with three, it's likely to be Modric, Kroos, and will it be Tchouaméni? Every Clasico, I think that Ancelotti is going to play him, but he always seems to go for Camavinga. Will there be any change in that in this game? And then most likely, if it is a front three, Valverde, Benzema and Vinicius for Ancelotti. Unless, of course, he does indeed go with Rodrigo, as we discussed yesterday in the tactical preview. If he wants to go for this game, try something different. Rodrigo will be behind Benzema, an attacking four there. But will he do it? Because when it comes to Barça and indeed Xavi Hernandez's team selection, I thought it was really interesting as well what he said in his pre-match press conference, because he openly said, look, we know a draw will take us to the final. You know, if we drew this game, we would be on our way thanks to that first leg win. But he said that won't change anything in terms of our mindset. He said, we want to have the ball. We still want to have control of this game. Just because we have the advantage coming into it, that's not going to affect our mindset. We're not just going to sit back and absorb pressure. And then Xavi was asked, do you think that Barca are now the favourites in this tie? And Xavi said it's tough. It's tough to really judge about that, because he said it's a huge task to beat Real Madrid. This Real Madrid over two legs. He said, how long has it been since they last lost a two-leg tie? And he's got a point there. Real Madrid over two legs, particularly they're thinking about Europe. They are virtually unbeatable. He said, and they're also going to be eager to have revenge on us. They're going to be hurting after three Clasico defeats in a row. But we know that we can do this. And indeed, looking at Xavi's lineup, it is very, very likely to be Araujo at right back once again to go head-to-head with Vinicius Jr. Koundé then at centre-back alongside him. Is it going to be Marcos Alonso? Is he going to be the man to replace Andreas Christensen? Balde there, likely to start at left-back. Unless you wanted to change things around sort of in that defence, you could go Roberto at right-back, shift the two centre-backs in, but then you got Roberto up against Vinicius. So it might be a case here of shifting Araujo out there, Alonso starting at centre-back, and hopefully putting our trust in him, because along the midfield, it seems like Xavi is very much set on Sergio Roberto, on Busquets, on Kessie and on Gavi. Xavi feels as though that midfield can get control of the game, can get that numerical advantage over Real Madrid in the middle of the park, and Gavi is absolutely key. And then up front, there were goals at the weekend for Ferran Torres and for Ansu Fati, but I wouldn't expect either of those players to start here. Lewandowski, of course, is going to be leading the line, and just playing off him, Rafinha there from the right-hand side. That there is how we expect Barca to line up. We know that it's not our strongest team. We know there are players that could make big, big differences who are not there. But that team right there must get the job done, no matter what. And indeed, guys, when you are looking at the Clasico predictions, it is safe to say that Barca fans are confident of advancing in the Copa del Rey. Over 80% of you believing we are winning this in normal time. There's not going to be any extra time needed. There's not going to be a surprise Real Madrid win. Barça can get the job done, and I really, really hope that we can. This feels as though it's a massive game in our season. We know all about our success in the league, but let's finish it off now. Let's inflict another defeat on our biggest rivals. And please do let me know, guys, in the comments down below what you're expecting. What do you think the score is going to be? How do you believe Xavi should line up to win this game, to win this tie? I will see you after the game for the full reaction. Let's hope it's another special night. And a big thank you indeed to you guys for tuning in and for So Rare here today helping with the videos. I really do appreciate that. I will see all of you guys soon. We can do this. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça.